Maybe more of your friends will come throughout the night. Today is my first Women in Hip Hop workshop. I've been doing my work since 2008. I'm a b-boy, a MC, a graffiti writer. MC is another word for rapper. I think you know the other terms, right? B-boy, breakdancer. I'm basically immersed in the whole hip hop scene in New York City, and I'm well versed in all the elements, but I'm well versed in the history, the knowledge. I used to work on the hip hop tour, the only hip hop tour that's in the city right now, with hip hop pioneers as the sightseeing tours. And by working with this, I learned a lot of different knowledge, and throughout the past 6 months, I decided to do this workshop. It's been in my mind as a little seed growing, and here it is today. So again, thank you for coming out. The topic at hand is, of course, hip hop. Now this is an engaging workshop, all right? I'm not just up here talking, blah, 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 blah. This is interactive, all right? So I'm gonna be saying things, you can call out, all right? You can feel like you're a part of it, because you are. This is not just about me, and this is not just about you. It's all of us. It's an energy. It's a collective representation of what is going on in the world right now with women and hip hop. All right. So what is hip hop? Any answers? You don't have to raise your hand. It's not school. Shut up.
Popping.
Popping. Yes.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. What else?
Wisdom.
Don't say anything you want to say.
DJ.
Anyway. DJ. Yes.
Peace.
Yes.
Love.
Cultural invention.
Yes. I like that answer. Okay, it's all those things and then some. But when we talk about hip hop, let's say for example I ask you right now, name 5 female hip hop heads off the head. It's a lot easier to name 5 guys, isn't it? Honestly. And part of that is because it has nothing to do with hip hop. This has everything to do with the way society works. Alright? A lot of you have to understand, hip hop first of all is only 39 years old, goes back to 1973, right? If you go back to 1973 and you look at the world today, and you look at the women in 1973 and you look at women today, it's a little bit different, but overall, not much has changed, and overall, society really hasn't changed as far as its views on women, the way they treat women or whatever. Right now, women have high working positions, which is great. Maybe some of your parents or your uncles, or maybe you probably didn't even see that as a child happening today. And that's great. They deserve opportunities, of course. Everyone deserves opportunities. But as far as hip hop goes, they've always been held back. For women to get into hip hop, they always had to be the girlfriend of a b-boy, to want to be a b-girl. They always had to be that girl who probably saw the guys rapping on the lunch tables, beating on the tables, who was sitting on the side like, they're dope, but can I get on? Can I rhyme? I'm good too. And maybe she did try, and they shut her down. Because she's a female. They said, you whack. You got nothing to say. Your thoughts are irrelevant. That kind of sucks, right? But you gotta understand too, the way we act in hip hop is the way we act as males in society. When we interact, males in society, when we diss each other, hip hop is all about dissing. It's all about bravado, right? It's all about bigging up yourself. If I ask anyone in this room, even if you don't rap, let me hear a rhyme, let me hear a rap, you would say, I'm the best, I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest, I'm the tallest, I'm the coolest, I'm this, I'm that, I got money, right? I got girls, I got this, and that's what makes you a rapper to the average person. It's a bragging game, right? When you want to make fun of another rapper, how do you win? You diss them, right? How do you diss someone in society right now? If I was to diss
your mama jokes.
Your mama jokes. That's a great example. You all know the TV show Your Mama, right? Yeah. For some of you, you may watch that and you'll be like, that's funny. I like those jokes. I'm gonna say it to my friends. They're not gonna know I took it from the show, you know. But at the same time, you don't realize subconsciously that you're talking about someone's mom. It's real serious when you look at the way society acts with women, starting with the family. Let's start with your grandmother. Everyone has a grandmother here, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be alive. If you got to know your grandmother, if you were fortunate, then most people connect their grandmother with like, she cooks that good food. I like to go visit her on the weekends or whatever. You'll think of thoughts like that when you think of your grandmother. How do you treat your grandmother, most of you?
Respect.
Respect, right?
Kindness.
Kindness, of course. Now let's lower down. Your mother. Your mother is very different from your grandmother. A lot of you may not really connect so much with your grandmother, even though you're affectionate, passionate towards her. You might be a little bit distant. Your mother, you're more defensive about. When someone talks about your mom, you get angry, right? Well, most people would. You might not like your mom. It's the reality of the world. But as a child growing up, if someone says, hey, your mom has buck teeth, you know, you're gonna be a kid, if you love your mom, you should, she's taking care of you, she's keeping you alive, hopefully. Then you can be like, hey, don't talk about my mom, I love her. I don't appreciate you doing that. So we understand that relationship, right? How it's a little bit different. But now let's go down to another level. Let's talk about the aunt. Now the aunt, most people are very distant from. Some people have a close relationship with their aunt. Some people just disregard that relationship. Let's go another level down, the daughter. If you look at the daughter, if it's your daughter, whether you're a male or female, if you're a male, you're obviously just as defensive with your daughter, maybe more with your daughter than you are with your mom, or your grandmother, or your aunt. Now, let's look at the sister. The sister is very different from all of this, because your sister is like a reflection of you, right? Your sister is like you as a girl, basically. You want her to do right because she came from the same household as you. You want her to be represented correctly. Now, let's go back to the conversation of hip-hop. If we look at the whole family lineage, as I discussed, and apply that to hip-hop, that changes the whole situation, right? Because now let's look at female MCs. Don't look at her as just that female MC. Don't look at that girl dancing as just that E-girl. Look at her as your sister. Look at her as your mother, as your grandmother. Be more defensive. Look at her as your daughter. Then we decide that we're not going to be dissing on them the same way. Until we change how we interact as males with each other, we're always going to be in that mind state. Because whenever you hear a rap battle, like Eminem and Benzino or whatever, how do they diss each other? You're soft. You're this. You're that.
You're a B.
You're a B. You're whatever. They state feminine qualities. Let me ask you, what is weak about females? Shout out. Don't be afraid, because I know that's a very scary thing to answer.
So you said what is weak?
What is weak about females? Weak, yeah. I said it. It's the same thing that's weak about males. It can be everything or it can be nothing. All right? What is strong about females? What is the strength in a female? Whew. Now, there's a different parallel, right? But that's another one. It can be everything or it can be absolutely nothing that is strong about a female. That's up to the character. When you think about what's strong about a female in general, you think of what? Like child labor, right? Most guys, even me, can't go through that. Would it survive? Probably not. And not to say that I'm thankful I don't have to go do that, but because I don't have to go through that, I can never understand what it is to have that affection for a child after going through that. I don't think the guy cares as much about a child as much as a female after going through that. What else is stronger about a female? I know this got you thinking. You don't have to shout out anything, but if you think of anything, shout it out.
I think their emotional maturity.
Emotional maturity. I like that you said that. You know why? Because why do we think as guys as emotional? Do you think about that often? Probably don't. When you think of the brain, the brain. One random things and all things. You have a left side and a right side, right? Two sides. There's such thing as left thought, right thought. Each part of your brain has a different thought signals, right? Every part of your brain is for a different, like this part of your brain in the back is for your creative thoughts or whatever. I don't know the exact places, but that's just an example. And they say being left-sided is feminine, more creative. This goes with art. If you look at the Mona Lisa painting, on the left side, they say it's like lower or higher because it's the feminine side. This goes with a lot of things. Whenever you talk about anything artistic or creative, that's female energy. Whenever you talk about stuff that is not necessarily anti-creative, but more so, what's the word? I wouldn't say like ego-driven, but that's probably the only way I can think of right now. That's when you think of males. When you think of wars, for example, in history, who starts wars? Usually guys, but it's usually over women. Or it's over something a guy did to a woman, you know? Because he didn't treat equally the family lineage, which is what I talked about earlier. All right, when you look at the family lineage again, and you look at all the elements of hip hop, the way you treat a B-girl, the way you treat a DJ, the way you treat an MC is the same way you treat a daughter, a mother, a grandmother, an aunt, and that's going to change the whole situation. Now, I probably bored you with all of that, but let's talk about hip hop, because we are here for hip hop. That's just to give you a basic foundation of understanding, right? Now, in the context of hip hop, who are female hip hop heads you think of? Rockefeller, B-girl Rockefeller. Who? Peaches Rodriguez.
Queen Latifah.
Popper. Queen Latifah. MC.
Violetta.
MC Light.
MC Light.
LC the Poet.
LC the Poet. She's an MC. Honey Rockwell. Don't Be Girl. Anyone else? It's kind of hard for some.
Salt and Pepper.
There's a lot more.
Bahamadia.
Salt and Pepper.
Yeah,
Missy Elliott.
Bahamadia.
You can say Spanish rappers. Evie Queen. You can say people who do salsa like La India. Believe it or not, because a lot of the people who do salsa, who are in like their 30s and 40s, that are from New York, they grew up listening to hip hop, singing freestyle music. Freestyle music comes from hip hop, and it comes from funk, and it comes from mambo, and it comes from Latin jazz. What is hip hop? As a concoction itself, hip hop comes from jazz. Hip hop comes from funk, and it's a mixture of that. So when we talk about hip hop, you're talking about all genres of music, really, because you're talking about all those sounds as a gumbo, in a sense. And when you look at hip hop right now, compared to 39 years ago, there's big differences in the women, the way that they were represented, and the way that they were doing things in hip hop. Let's go back to 1979. 1979 is a year you had your first recorded hip hop record. Sugar Hill, over the Chic, Good Times, and that was the first big record, and from there, you had your first independent record labels, and little by little groups blew up, right? Some of your first female MCs included, recorded on wax, Sha Rock, who was part of the Funky Four plus one more. You had people like The Sequence, you had people like, a little bit later on, Antoinette, MC Light,
Roxanne Shante,
the real Roxanne, and so on and so on and so on. But those are just MCs. Don't be such a fool to consider the fact that that was the only thing not going on, you know? There was many other things going on at the same time. That is just one element of hip hop. People forget at the same time you had graffiti going on. You had your first graffiti movies coming out. Wild Style with Lady Pink. She's one of the first good female graffiti writers that was presented on a larger scale as the guys were presented. She was one of the first people as a female artist to have her work in galleries downtown while hip hop was moving from the Bronx to Manhattan, thanks to people like Fab Five Freddy and the whole Keith Haring art club, crazy wild scene out here in Manhattan. And that's why all those connections are there. And that's why when we talk about people like Madonna and Jean-Michel Basquiat and all these club owners like Michael Holman at the Grill and all this stuff, it's all connected. That's why when we talk about hip hop, we talk about salsa, we talk about mambo, we talk about disco, we talk about house, we talk about art, we talk about martial arts, we talk about politics. And there's women in all these things, obviously, you know. today, you have, what's the female on the Supreme Judges? What's her name? You know what I'm talking about, she's Spanish. I don't remember her name though, off the head. But raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. She's like on the Supreme Court, like judges or something. She's from the Bronx. I forgot her name though. I don't know her name. But like, I know her name, but not off the head right now. But that's just an example. You know, you have many other things, you know, besides that. Going back to before the recorded hip hop, before 1979, there was many other things going on. You had, before that, hip hop wasn't recorded, but they was performing at jams. What a hip hop jam is basically, you had the DJs, they were the focal point of this gathering. They will play the music, and you have people dance in a park, in a community center, in a school gym, in a house sometimes. And at these early jams, most of the guys were dancing. Those were the ones who were well known, according to a lot of people I've talked to who were there. But there were females there, like I said, who were probably like girlfriends of these B-boys, early B-boys, and they would get down too. But their names are not recollected when you talk to a lot of these older people. And let's be honest too, we're talking about the 70s into the 80s. It's a lot of drugs there. That's why a lot of these people might not forget a lot of these things. You know, they may not remember, you know, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of drugs involved in New York City and a lot of violence, and maybe all of that made you forget about the females who were doing something. Maybe it made you forget about the females who were in Queens rocking. Maybe it made you forget about females who were probably in Bushwick doing Bushwick rocking and Brooklyn up rock, because there were females doing it. Maybe it made you forget about females before Shot Rock, before the Sequence, and Antoinette, and MC Light.
But if drugs are what makes us forget females, then why wouldn't we forget about the males?
Good question. They did forget about the males.
I mean, it's an interesting.
Believe it or not.
I think it's an interesting idea, but I don't think you can blame it on.
No, I'm not blaming everything on the drugs. No, I'm saying it's a part of it. You can't deny it. It's like people saying hip hop came from gangs. Not all of it, but we can't deny that some of hip hop's existence is due to the gangs that were in New York City in the 70s.
You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously drugs were involved.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not connected to the reason why we don't remember a female.
No, it's just one of the many factors that are connected to the many different aspects of hip hop, while the history is lost. And that history, females are in that history. Males are lost in that history also. There's a lot of people aside from Rocksteady crew who were dope. But when you talk to anyone about b-boying back in the day, what's the first thing they say? Rocksteady crew, yeah! 77! That's all they know. Because the fact is, the media, the fact is, the drugs, the fact is, egos, the fact is, males not wanting to give other males shine, let alone not give a female shine. Let's be honest about that. There's a lot of males in hip-hop who don't like to give other males fame, and that goes on even to this day. It's a different situation now because you have underground and mainstream. Back then, everything was underground. Only way you were like important in hip-hop back then is if you were a DJ, is if you were that party starter, you know. Not to say females didn't start the party, I was not there. But I've been told of some names, thankfully. People like Pebbly Pooh. Pebbly Pooh is one of the first female MCs who used to rhyme with Kool Herc on his jams. She also used to be girl, I heard. But, I don't know, I wasn't there. But, you gotta understand, back then it was very different the way that they did things also. It's not MCing like today. When you hear MCing today, it's the same concept that we talked about. I'm big, I'm bad, I'm tall, you're short. It's the same concept. But back then, they were doing routines. They would take a song of, say, a TV show, like, name any TV show, sitcom, anything.
Cosby.
Cosby. Do they have a theme song to that? They do, right? But there's no words on it. Name a show with words to their theme song. Anything.
Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince. What's the theme song to that? How does it go?
Yeah, this is the story.
This is the story. let's say you heard that, for example, right? And you were a MC back in '76, right? You walk into the jam with your Levi's suit, or you know, if you can afford that. Not everyone could afford that. That was a drug dealer thing. Maybe you got just a tracksuit. Maybe you're mad bummy. But let's say you walk in there and you get on the mic. Only way you touching that mic is if someone heard you before. Is if you got some type of juice. Maybe you got some type of security. They didn't let anybody on the mic, even if he was dope. Sometimes you have to earn that. That's one of the big differences today. Another difference is back then, for a female to touch that mic, she had to be extra dope. They was not letting a black female touch that mic. So you can rest assured that any female that we know of from back then had to be insanely dope. That's the way I look at it, at least, under those contexts. But as you grab that mic, and let's say you thought of that song. Let's say that show existed back then. Obviously it didn't. But you change the words. Like, this is a story all about how I get on the mic and I make you bow down. Change the words like that. And it becomes yours. That's what MCs did back then. That's what people like Grandmaster Caz, who is considered one of the best MCs of all time. That's what these guys are known for. They'll take routines and mix it up. Like Marvin Gaye, his song, What's Going On? You know that song, right? What's going on? Let's say if I'm gonna switch the words, like, what's going on? Whack MCs, what's going on? Whack B-boys, what's going on? If I could change it like that, it's dope, right? It's cool. But you don't have to think it's dope, I think it's cool. But that's just an example, you know. Look at it today, they don't do that. That's how they battled too back then. They would not diss on the other person, they would do that in person, bro. Like playing the dozens. Whenever you're chilling out on the steps, drinking your, whatever, Coke 45, whatever, it's the 70s. OE and this, that, and the third, you know, it is what it is. A lot of the females who were into this whole hip-hop scene, some of them were doing it on the low. They were good, maybe they were a good Catholic school girl, and they went to school dressed one way, and they left school dressed another way, just to hang out with the guys, just to feel accepted, just to go to these jams. And some of them got their due, got their props, but a lot of them did not, and that's the problem. That's a real big problem. If you look at it today, there's a lot of females on the underground level who are not getting props at all. And that brings us to our next segment. The next segment is obvious, right? Where are women in hip-hop today? Where do they fit in that equation, right? When you look at women in hip-hop today, you have two different hip-hops. You have underground, mainstream. Mainstream hip-hop is just rap. It's the rap industry. It makes a whole lot of money, degrades a whole lot of women at the same time. Sort of like the diamond industry. Makes a whole lot of money, kills a whole lot of people at the same time. It does its good and it does its bad. We can't deny that. Because of the rap industry, you have people who are from the hood, the ghetto, who are from middle class, who are able to go to upper class, who are able to support their families financially, who are able to be idols to children, who are able to give back. But you're only getting like 2% in that door. Think about New York. There's about 10 MCs on every block. Maybe out of those 10 on every block, maybe you have one female, but you wouldn't know. Because when it comes to a place like New York, even though it's a big city compared to like going somewhere in Nebraska, you'll get more people signed to major record labels here. But if you go to like Nebraska or whatever, or these Michigan or Minnesota or whatever, you're not going to get acts from those places. But there's just as much hip-hop that's there. There's just as much B-boys and B-girls and DJs and this, that. But people pick their favorites. They hire the same people. That's one of the issues. Nobody wants to put new people on. A lot of that has to do with promoters. MCs do not make money off of records right now, 2013. They do not. Don't let them fool you just because they say it in a song. You know, they'll say, I'm selling all these records, I got money. You rented that car, you rented that suit, that's not your house, It's probably not even your voice because it's auto-tuned. So why are you lying in this video and song? You know? The fact is that right now, 2013, it's just like back in the day. Back in the day, history goes full circle. Back in the day, for hip-hop heads to make money, they did not make money selling their cassette tapes of their routines that they performed at jams. They made some money, some of them did. Most of it was just other guys bootlegging your stuff. And you can get mad about it, you can fight on whatever. It's up to you. But they did good and bad. That's how the culture spread. But at the same time, it's why those guys are broke today. A lot of the people in hip-hop today make money off of touring, concerts, workshops, like what I'm doing, lessons, and other miscellaneous activities like selling merchandise and getting involved with films and getting involved with community projects abroad, or maybe something just to look good in the media. Now, let's look at the females in hip-hop right now. Name 5 females in the mainstream level. In rap, of course.
Rap?
Because that's what mainstream is, right? Rap industry.
What considered to be rap, or what is rap? Lil Kim.
Oh,
Lil Kim.
Krayshawn.
I've never heard of it. Eve. Lil Kim. Who else? Nicki Minaj, right?
Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott. Relevant people. Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, Eve. I can say those are relevant. I wouldn't say Missy Elliott is relevant. She hasn't released a record in like 7+ years. Maybe more. I'm not counting. But I think Missy, what did we say? Nicki Minaj, Eve, and Lil Kim, they have released records within the past 7 years. Who else? 2 more.
Rap?
Rap industry. We're talking about mainstream hip hop. That's just rap industry. Think? Come on, we have a lot of brains in this room.
Does that have to be only rap?
It has to be. It's mainstream. See, you can only think of 3.
Senegal, she's not mainstream.
Celia Banks?
Never heard of these people. I'm not saying they're not whack. Maybe it's just because I'm not doing one of my study. Have y'all heard of those names?
What was that?
Iggy Azalea, she just got signed by T.I.
Who?
She's from like London? Or
No, she's from Australia.
Who else? I don't listen to
We
that.
decided
Whack shit?
MIA? Nah, that's not rap. That's just
Alternative.
I call it a creative.
A special
I call it
blend.
an eccentric. I don't doubt it. I got nothing to say about that. All props to MIA and any other female doing it. But in the context of rap, when we talking about me asking the question to name 5 mainstream female hip hoppers, we only got 3.
No, because you got pop stars.
Exactly, because everything is pop now. Everything in hip hop is being transformed into pop.
And plus,
Because
how about Remy?
huh? Remy Ma?
She's in
She
jail.
hasn't released nothing in the past 7 years. She's irrelevant.
She's in jail.
She's irrelevant. And she's
Plus,
in
all
jail.
the good MCs from back in the day, they either retired or just doing concerts now or something like that.
Exactly, that's exactly what I said. The problem with the so-called good, best MCs, golden era MCs, is the fact that we live in the past thinking that females were only good back then. They're not good now. Why would you think that? What on earth compels you to sit down, being a logical, well-educated individual, to say, you know what? The only good female MC was 20 years ago, and that was MC Light. There's no good female MCs who have no voice, have no opinion that is relevant right now.